Yeah, he wasn't any closer at the line, but
They are very disappointing. Look, he's just beaten 2 home. He's found nothing. He's travelled well, and he's found, as I say, nothing under pressure.
He hasn't, you know, and under pressure from some way out. The horse on the rail runs on.
Mantab.
Yeah, and Babajan runs on well. But I don't know. I just worry about this as an overall. Sometimes you get a really good horse in this race, on that basis, I wouldn't be too sure this year.
Yeah, a couple of lengths from the 1st and 2nd back to the 3rd and 4th, and then probably another 3 or 4 lengths back to the 5th.
Yes, that's right. They were 2 by 2 there, but you know, the Chester Le Street I still think is a nice horse for the future.
Okay, SP's in the studio. A bit of a shock here.
Took a while to get by the Johnson horse as usual. They're hard to pass, but he's a very brave little horse, this.
He is, yeah, saying little horse. I must admit I prefer these. They're easier to talk to you on.
Yeah, they're a little bit easier to handle as well.
What about this? I mean, what were your sort of plans beforehand? You missed the July Stakes for today.
Yeah, the only concern was a little bit fast. I actually cantered the post and I wasn't happy at all. But he's a tough little fella and he overcame it.
Next one's the big one, Oasis Dream.
Please, God.
Go on, a bit more than that.
Well, we can't get the horse any better than he is today.
They say he's improved since Ascot.
He has. He's got a little bit skinnier. He's getting more like me.
Well, not too much. Good luck.
Cheers.
Well, there it was. That was the second at Newmarket and the English version of Joe McKinnon doing the interviews as the jockey returned back. Actually, Joe would go all right over there. She wouldn't have as far to reach up, would she?
No, that's correct.
That jockey there's Richard Hughes. Michael, we were saying during the race the difference in riding styles.
Yeah, well, you know, if you're just looking at the two jockeys there riding them out, the winning rider, Hughes, as opposed to the guy on the second horse, he was much higher in the irons and he looked a lot more polished in punching the winner out, I thought.
And I think also the English jockeys are restricted in the amount of use of the whip, aren't they?
Definitely, yeah, definitely them. And they're not supposed to hit them, you know, forward of the shoulder too much. And I'm not exactly sure how many times they're allowed to hit them, but they can't punch them out like a la Mick Dittman.
Look at that there, the rider on the second horse, the one that led, he sort of looked to be leaning to the side, and Richard Hughes got down the more crouched style.
Yeah, he looked much more polished. He was very well balanced, you know. I don't even know the jockeys very well, but as I said, the guy on the second horse, he looked a bit rough and ready to me.
Yeah, jockey by the name of Darrell Holland was the rider of the second horse, and Richard Hughes was on the winner. Now that's another look there at the track, and that's the way they shape up in this maiden over 1,400 metres. And what do you make of this one, Michael?
Yeah, the top pick here is number 4, Acromenia, from number 3, Super Song. My Melor is number 2 is the 3rd pick, and then just behind it, number 5, which is Giulioni, and number 7, which is Nashwan Star, which was the 5th pick. But yeah, number 4 was a clear first pick here.
This race again is on a straight course at Folkestone, which clearly is the secondary meeting from England, with most of the attention being on the Newmarket program. And as yet, well, there's the runners, or some of them, heading their way down on this quite remarkable track with hills and valleys and all sorts of things. And there's Hurricane Love going down to the start. No wrap on it, Mike?
No, it wasn't. No, it didn't rate at all. Really, it was according to the ratings, it was well outside them.
Anyway, that's in those the blue jacket with the white V, and there's only a pretty small field. They do tend in some races there to get small fields, but then they can also have very big ones.
The other side of the coin, yeah, they can have massive fields, but unfortunately, it's a small field here with a very, very big track. So you know that's where you can get a little bit. They can sort of lose a little bit. If you've got a big field, you get more of a guide. They all go along at the right sort of pace here. But you know, in a small field, you're.
And the favourite
number
here?
7, Nashwan Star. It's the favourite. A little bit under half each way odds.
Folkestone. The 8 runners on this straight course. It's 7 furlongs, in our terms 1,400 metres. And the final few link up with the barrier stalls, and at Folkestone, your caller for race 2 is Ben Newton.
Over on the far side here, and that looks as if they're all in, so stand by. And they're off then for the Stour Maiden Stakes. It's a race for 3-year-olds. It's run over 7 furlongs, and once again it looks as if they're all going to tack over the 7 runners to the far side here. The yellow jacket of Acromina and the dark blue of Super Song, light blue of Duo Leone. All very handy as they run through the first furlong and a half. And it's Duo Leone from Acromina, yellow jacket far side. Then the blue jacket white face of Nashwan Star, very handy towards the outside in 3rd, from the brown jacket of Anna Winter in 4. Hurricane Love in the blue jacket on the far rail in 5. Settle there back towards the rear of the field now, Super Song, dark blue with yellow cap, and Time to Be Nice with the cheek pieces is quite badly outpaced. So they're down towards the halfway stage now. And Duo Leone and Seb Sanders lead by just over a length to Acromina. Nashwan Star just pushed along towards the outside in 3rd. Super Song has been switched to the stand side and is making quite nice ground towards the leaders in front of Anna Winter in 5 and Hurricane Love. But Duo Leone still by a length and a half to Acromina. Super Song now pushed along towards the outside from Nashwan Star, a little bit one pace back in 4th, and as they race now inside the final furlong, and Acromina coming to challenge Duo Leone. Super Song is in between horses, but over on the far side, Duo Leone with Super Song. Duo Leone, and it's a triple photo. Duo Leone, Super Song, and Acromina on the stand side.
Well, they only call the first 3 over the line there. And I'll tell you what, Michael, do you want to have a little bet in the photo?
No, don't know the angles there, sorry about that.
There's Super Song and Duo Leone are the 2 involved in that photo.
Acromina was the other one, number 4.
Well, I think it's missed out. It's run 3rd, hasn't it? But anyway, it's a pretty... Well, as the way that camera's going, they thinks that Acromina might have won it.
Show us the replay.
Must be a bad angle. We might have a look at a replay of this and see if we can sort it out. Now that's Acromina. That's in the yellow jacket, and Duo Leone,
just the light blue and the orange,
is closer to the inside rail. There's one in between them. As they go towards the line, yes, the cameraman's right. I think there's no doubt it's one. That was Acromina, which is owned by the Mactooms, or one of the Mactooms.
Yeah, the ratings got that one right. It was the first pick there.
All right, there you go. The value of the ratings. Well, as we been talking about Choisir in a matter of 5 days at Royal Ascot, Choisir made an enormous impact and brought the focus of the world onto Australia. And of course that also highlighted the importance of the shuttle stallions and Coolmore Stud. And the shuttle stallions that produced Danehill Dancer. Without Danehill, of course, there'd be no Danehill Dancer. And Danehill Dancer, of course, is the sire of Choisir. And we've got a profile now on the sire of Choisir, Danehill Dancer.
Danehill Dancer is an imposing son of Danehill, described by a time form as a big, strong, lengthy individual. He also boasts an impressive racetrack career.
Danehill Dancer is a very, very strong-looking horse. He's got great bone, he's got a huge amount of presence, and he's a very good-looking son of Danehill, and he looks a lot like his dad.
Danehill Dancer's early feats at the track earned him Ireland's Champion 2-year-old award.
He is one of the only sons of Dane Hill standing in Australia that actually won 2 Group 1 races himself as a 2-year-old. So he's obviously going to throw good, strong, precocious 2-year-olds in Australia.
And it's Dane Hill Dancer now and Pat Edery who've come through on the outside in the colours of Michael Tabor. To head in second place, Woodbury, who's boxing on for John Reid. Flying Squaws running third. And then on the outside, Catch a Glimpse. But inside the last 150 yards, it's Dane Hill Dancer and Pat Edery striding on. He's only a neck in front. Woodbury is trying to come back, but Dane Hill Dancer wins the Hinds.
He then went on to the 1400 metres of the National Stakes and treated his rivals with disdain.
They're into the final furlong and Dane Hill Dancer beginning to stretch, goes on 2 in front of Deed of Love, Force of Will, Polaris Flight beginning to run on. As they race into the closing stages, it's Dane Hill Dancer and Pat Edery out in front, leading by 2. Polaris Flight runs on well, but Dane Hill Dancer wins it.
With Dane Hill no longer gracing our shores, it's left to his sons at stud to continue the tradition.
I mean, Dane Hill, as a sire of size in Australia, is awesome, really. It seems that every son of Dane Hill standing at stud is doing very well. I can barely name one that isn't. His third dam is a mare called Lianga, who was actually a champion sprinter miler in Europe a number of years ago. So with that in mind, you would think that Dane Hill Dancer can probably produce good precocious 2-year-olds and the horses that, of course, will train on as 3-year-olds and milers.
Dane Hill Dancer was Great Britain's champion first crop sire in 2001, with Group 3 winners Where or When and Ziria leading the way. In Australia, his headline act has been Choisir. Winning his first start in the Breeders' Plate, he went on to claim the Group 3 Skyline Stakes.
It's Emerging Star, a length and a half on Choisir. Charlie Bub third, and forget the other pair. Choisir is picking up Emerging Star very quickly, and away goes Choisir, a real golden slip of hope, and he's toying with his rival Choisir, unextended.
Another quality performer is the unlucky Jar Jar Binks. After multiple group placings, he struck payday when winning the Group 3 Mercedes-Benz Stakes.
Pemberton hit the front at the 200. Mustig Mi Panna's kicking, and here's Bomber Bill, Jar Jar Binks and Travis Gay. It's Pemberton the leader, Jar Jar Binks and Travis Gay. Jar Jar Binks has grabbed the lead close to home from Pemberton and Travis Gay and Jar Jar Binks.
Performances like these have increased Dane Hill Dancer's appeal, with a better quality of mare gracing his barn.
He's so popular and he has the ability to upgrade his brood mares, because the seasons that he's covered in Australia, he's covered quite mediocre mares, but he's doing a great job from those type of mares.
So more recently then he's seen a lot better quality mares?
In the last season or two in Victoria, he's seen some good mares, but of course this season he will see a very, very good band of brood mares coming to him.
And Dane Hill Dancer, of course, now standing at Coolmore Stud, and one can only wonder where Choisir may go to when he's ended his racing career. The queue, I think, starts here.
Yes, there's plenty of people queuing up to get him overseas and back here in Australia.
Well, I suppose it'd be a shame. I suppose money speaks all languages, but it would be a shame if he is lost to Australia. Now, at Newmarket, of course, the runners are parading in the mounting yard for the running of the Darley July Cup. This is a Group 1, and actually Dane Hill, the grandsire of Choisir, I think won this race, Michael. The July Cup. But it's one of the prestigious races in England, and they're basically the final totes in Australia. Choisir at $3.40 on Tab Limited in New South Wales, $2.70, and I believe it is favourite in England with the on track.
Yes.
Second pick is Airwave, and the third pick is Oasis Dream, which the Tab Limited price is fairly close to what it is. Airwave is a lot shorter in Australia than it is in England, so the Australians think Airwave's got a better chance than the Poms do.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, there's only 3 minutes to the advertised starting time of this race, and they are headed to the barrier stalls. Now, there's Airwave hacking down to the start. What do you think of her, Michael?
Oh, she's a lovely, lovely horse.
Sweating up a bit?
No, a little bit, yeah, but, you know, that's not too bad. That's, you know, if they're a muck lather, you've got a problem. But, yeah, I've got no concerns with horses that sweat up a little bit. You know, they're nice and loose. I can remember one day in Sydney, a horse called Limitless won a Sydney Cup, and it came into the enclosure, and you'd swear it had just got out of a swimming pool. And I was actually looking at the horses for a former very, very big bookmaker, and I went back and I said, gee whiz, I said, I don't know the horse, but I said, I've never ever seen a horse sweat up like it in my life. And it won by 8 lengths.
OK, let's go back to Newmarket and pick up an interview with the trainer of Airwave, the filly.
Leslie. Henry, how's the filly?
She's in good form today, much more relaxed.
They've all got a little bit warm, haven't they? I mean, unavoidable in this temperature.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything to stay cool today, really, but at Ascot she was very, very on her toes, and today she seems blissfully happy. And
no question, despite it being sort of 3 weeks on, that she's in season, she seems fine?
No, she's not today, no.
What do you think tactically? You're drawn in the middle. Which way's Kieran likely to go?
You just can't say. I haven't tied him down to anything. Obviously, you'd like to go left over to the far side. But if they're all coming in from her right and wanting to go onto that rail and there's no room there, then I'm afraid you'll have to come up middle.
There's no such thing as an easy Group 1, although she's well up to it. But what do you think is your main worry? Choisir apart, actually.
Oasis Dream, without any question. Clive Britton's horse, who won the Jersey membership, and who was second to Trade Fair here the other day. Who was that? Jeremy DeCedis?
Yes?
Yeah, I think that's got a good chance.
Right. Well, even you're not looking too cool at the moment. I'm sure there's a few nerves, so best of luck. Enjoy watching it.
Thank you very much.
And that was Henry Candy, the trainer of the filly Airwave, and we were pointing out before that Airwave was sweating up a bit, and so too is Choisir.
Oh, he's only marginally sweating up, but he looks quite brilliant there to me. He's still carrying plenty of condition. You know, he's had 2 high-rating runs there. He's been successful on both occasions, and you know, when that happens, sometimes the condition can fall off and they can become very ribby. But he looks fantastic there, the horse. You know, I'd be pleased to be involved with him if that would be the case. But no, I thought he looked great. I think he looks better today than he did when he won his second race.
Yep, he's obviously just thrived over there. This, in fact, is the first race that he won over there, the King Stand Stakes, which he won quite comfortably. And he wasn't hard on him over the final stages, Johnny Murtaugh, was he?
No, that's when Acclamation picked up a little bit of ground on him late in the race.
And here's the other one, the Golden Jubilee Stakes, where Airwave, I thought, you know, almost had his measure watching the race.
Yeah, she did, but she could see she's sort of shifting her ground a little bit there. She comes through and just drifts away from him a little bit. I think she'd had enough just about there, and he was sort of, I reckon,
going away
a little bit near the line. In the first race there, Kingstead Stakes, Choisir beat Acclamation and Oasis Dream. They're both contesting this race. As I said, as Captain Rio and Bohemian Pirate, I should say, it ran 8th. Continent, it contested both of these events and finished down the track on both occasions, so it would need a huge form reversal for it to be competitive in this.
Anyway, I suppose that you could say this is the best sprinters that they can muster in England, and it's a matter of whether we, the Australian horse, can hold them out.
Well, you know, having said that, there's been plenty of English sprinters have gone to Hong Kong to contest the races. You know, Falvelon was successful in, and they really don't get into the race at all. So our sprinters seem to have the wood on them.
Anyway, this again is an undulating course, a very tough test. As you can see there, while it is a straight course, it's not quite straight.
No, it's not. But you know, it's got 3 or 4 moves in it. It goes up, down, and then up and down again. So it's incredible.
Okay, they're behind the barrier there and being led in. There's the market order in Australia, and which is in contrast a bit to what's happening actually on the track in England, where Choisir, in fact, has been the favourite from Airwave and Oasis Dream. Let's go to the action. Will this be an historic treble for the Australian galloper Choisir as they go into line. And your caller at Newmarket is Simon Holt.
Choisir will come from stall 1 and Airwave from stall number 9. And Choisir, we're expecting, will be fast away. Airwave could be slow. Zipping, slotting into place. Acclamation nearest to us in the spots. And away they jump for the Darley July Cup, and a bit slow was Tomahawk. Oasis Dream is well out up with the leaders. Continent was very slow away, but Choisir burst from the gate up to that far rail and already leads the July Cup field. Striking Ambition gets the toe in second place. Oasis Dream is third, then Bahamian Pirate. Airwave is in midfield. She didn't jump too badly, but she's locked behind runners as they cover the first quarter mile, and Choisir scorching the grass from Striking Ambition, Oasis Dream and Bahamian Pirate. Twilight Blues and Needwood Blade down the near side is Tomahawk, followed by Orientor, and then Airwave still behind runners. Next is Membership, then behind these races Acclamation from Continent towards the rear with Zipping as they run down inside the final quarter mile. Choisir taken on by Oasis Dream, and Oasis Dream is now upsides as they race towards the final furlong. Choisir comes under pressure. Oasis Dream a big danger on the outside. Bahamian Pirate third. Airwave runs on, but she's got 4 lengths to find. Oasis Dream just in front. Choisir battling all the way, but Oasis Dream has got the Australian horse cooked, and Oasis Dream wins the Darley July Cup. Choisir second, an honourable second. Airwave third, Zipping back in fourth, followed by Bahamian Pirate. Next home was Continent.
A race that lived up to all expectations. The 3-year-old takes on the world. Oasis Dream, we said beforehand, I think the general consensus was as this has been drawn low. They thought this was a good thing today.
They did, absolutely. And, you know, the thing we noticed immediately, how quickly he got a good position. From stall 11. Hughesy was really on the ball there, and you know he was tracking Choisir very quickly and was in a lovely position to strike. But I mean, Choisir fought back, didn't he, up the hill when he, you know, and it was touch and go.
What a wonderfully tough horse this is. Incredibly straightforward as well. He's popped him out, he's got him across, he's relaxed, he's settled, and when he's asked him, he's got the response. You know, he just looks a lovely, lovely horse to have anything to do with.
He is, you know.
Well, that could be said for the first and second.
Well, yes, I mean, in the paddock, I mean, he's a huge, big bull, but the winner, as we said, looked in fantastic nick. But we were also talking in running that you've got to have a good look at Airwave's run.
Has had no luck in running. She's got out. It was all too late, and she's absolutely flown. Look, I mean, you can see she's got 5 lengths to make up on these two. They've kicked for home here. He's still going through the motions. He gets the run now, but you can't make that much ground up. He's been unlucky. He's had a nightmare passage through, and these two have flown. But Choisir battle, he gave everything back, didn't he?
He did. You know, a tremendous spectacle of basically the 3 top horses in the betting fighting out the biggest Group 1 of the rear. You know, so it's nice when the form works out.
9-2 is the price of the winner. I think that looks quite a pleasing SP, doesn't it? Because he was well touted beforehand. Choisir, well, he's run a phenomenally tough and game race back in second. Airwave, we pointed unlucky, and the 4th horse, Bahamian Pirate, second in the race last year. He's run on well, hasn't he?
Well, considering the ground, Emma, I think it was a fantastic. I'm hoping for the day that he gets soft ground somewhere. You know, he's so unlucky with ground all through the summer, that horse, and we'll probably have to wait for the Prix-l'Abbé again.
And hasn't Khaled Abdallah had the most phenomenal year this year? We've sort of talked about the fact that slightly lacking in Group 1s is Godolphin and Aidan O'Brien. Well, Abdallah has benefited, hasn't he? Because he's got an unbelievable string.
Yes, the pink cap is back, and we can be looking forward to, in a few weeks' time, we can have Sussex.
Look at those celebrations. He's delighted.
Yeah, we'll have, in the Sussex Stakes, we'll have Trade Fair. So, you know, fantastic achievement.
Yeah, a lot of celebrating to be done. Of course, he won the Superlative Stakes on one of Richard Hannon's in the race before, so it's been a good all-in-all good afternoon for jockey Richard Hughes. That's Pease.
You're some jelly baby.
Right, there's the replay. Choisir down on the inside, and the ultimate winner, Oasis Dream, going up to put pressure to him. For a few strides there, Michael, he was going to hold on, and then the other horse just that little bit too strong. What did you think of the run?
Oh, I thought they first and second horses did a fantastic job because they were basically eyeballing each other from the word go. I think that last rise took the toll on Choisir. I mean, the winner, Oasis Dream, had been successful in the Middle Park Stakes at Newmarket 2 starts back, so he did have that race experience, and I think it is, you know, that particular track or those tracks that have got those huge rises and falls, having raced there would be a huge advantage. I would have thought that on a flat track, I don't think he may have got past him, because you could see when he went up that rise, he was really tired the last 60 metres.
Well, there's Richard Hughes coming back, and he rode the previous winner there, so he's got an early double at the Newmarket meeting. Let's go back to the track at Newmarket.
As well, and he's a half-brother to the Poule de Seda Pouliche winner Zenda, and there's other good horses like Weems Bite further back in his pedigree, and he'll be a much sought-after stallion when he finally goes to stud, but we want to see a bit more of him racing before then.
Well, you could hardly ask for a better Group 1 sprint than we've just seen for the Darley July Cup. A real purist treat. Blazing speed, some enormous courage from the runner-up Choisir. As John Franklin said, he may have got beat, but he went down with all guns blazing. And a super ride from Richard Hughes. I know they all say the winning ones are the good ones, but for my money, he had this race won in the first furlong when he tracked across from the draw that John Gosden was frightened of. And once he was up there and matching strides with Choisir, it was Choisir who cracked first, but my God, he fought back during the closing stages. But this Oasis Dream threatened to be a real machine at 2, and now, at his peak, is 1.
Let's just confirm the totes on the Darley July Cup. Oasis Dream paying £6.10. The places 230, 160 and 170. The exacta £23.70 and 16 rand. At Folkestone, the 235, first number 4 Akamina, 100 to 30. Second number 3 Super Song at 3 to 1. And third number 5 Gio Leone at 100 to 30. Nashwan Star, the 5 to 2 favourite. Non-runner number 2 and 7 rand.
Well, don't be too confused there. They're the dividends in England. If you've had a bet on the July Cup, we've got our Australian dividends here, or they are approximate. The approximate dividends on the winner, Oasis Dream, with Choisir second, and of course Airwave finished third. And there's Oasis Dream coming back now on Tab Limited in New South Wales. This is approximate, $5.90. Well, $6.80 on Super Tab. Choisir, a place dividend of about $1.50 and $1.30, while Airwave, which surprisingly was favoured in New South Wales, $1.10 and $1.60. Michael, we were saying this jockey, Richard Hughes, he certainly impressed you in the previous race, and he lived up to it in that.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's one of those jocks that rides very forward on his horses, but he stays down low. You know, he's got superb balance. I mean, he's as good a jockey as I've seen riding them out. I mean, it's, you know, it's great to be smart through the race, but you know, when it comes to the action end of things, if you lose your balance and you know you're